see it. Oh my God, there it is. It's alive. We're back. We have the game up again. That was a nightmare to deal with. Do I sound like ass to you still, or is it kind of fixed now?
No, you're fine. You are okay.
Okay, I'm
Everything
sorry.
is
I
fine.
think I
We are
think we have
saved.
made it through a shit show of a start. We're good now. Eric, I think we're great. He'll just double check to make sure everything's good on there. And all right, very awkward start, but I think we're good. We're live. We see the draft right now. It's Freedom versus MP. Whew, hallelujah. We're back at it. Rhyme again. I apologize for everyone who's just kind of tuning in. Thank God. Otherwise, here's a look at the current score and standings for the American Qualifier because we actually didn't get to talk about this at all. We jumped right into the draft and talking about Lone Druid and such, but it is obviously going to be Digital Chaos sitting at the top of this group. We expect DC, NP, and even Cole to really be in the top three. That's where they currently stand right now. Rhyme, we know DC and NP to be kind of tier 1.5. But what about for a team like Cole? Like, are they like nipping at their heels a bit, or do you think the gap begins there between those two teams and everyone else?
Yeah, I think that's about right in terms of the teams that aren't EG.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, yeah. Just basically DC seem much stronger. I think overall. I don't know. I think NP are trying to find what suits them best. They seem to be kind of playing like an amalgamation of lots of other teams, and right now it's mostly borrowing from EG. I'm not really sure that picking Enigma so early is going to work out very well, but Team Freedom are already picking out Tusk, so... Oh, Wyvern, yep, we're getting even more EG now.
The early Enigma grab, we'd already seen this picked up from them just yesterday, I believe, and they threw it right to the off lane in the hands of MSS, and it offers that kind of AoE control that you would typically need with a Lone Druid, so they already have that, and plus you just get the black hole factor in the game. And the Wyvern follow-up, though, very intriguing. Feels like normally it would be more of a situational support. We saw for a while very good against the Drow Ranger, very good against the push, or, very good at having D-push, rather. But what do you think the Wyvern's purpose is here and now in this game?
Okay, basically, Wyvern means Weaver can't really focus down someone really very easily. He's decent in lane. He's not the best ever, but he's good D-push, and he's just really good at teamfights because you can just save. He's one of the best saves in the game, especially like you see 2 physical damage heroes already. Like Abba doesn't really do anything other than physical as well, so he's going to be quite effective early on, and he's just a nice team fight kind of. He forms like the core of like a team fight lineup because you can just slow everyone constantly.
Yeah.
You have saves to work with, and you have an ulti that can catch people. He's just generally quite nice to play in. It's like Wyvern is one of those supports that when you join a team fight as a core, you want to have him on your team because he just slows people for you. Everyone's just it's just convenient. I think he's like a Dazzle but better a lot of the time.
Really? I mean,
Yeah,
I guess
got that
people
feeling.
have favored maybe Dazzle a bit because a lot of people have been pleasuring themselves to the idea of reducing armor and just getting all that kind of synergy together, while Winter Wyvern doesn't really have that luxury. But I would agree there's a lot that Wyvern brings to the table that someone like Dazzle just kind of shies away from. But since then, Freedom go right for a silencer, kind of hitting right at that Enigma factor a bit, saying that we're not going to have to worry now about, or at least so much about the early black holes in the game before he has to get something as luxurious as a BKB. They have an answer for it now. But the Mirana comes out now from NP, which is a bit intriguing in its own. Envy was known for playing a lot of Mirana, a lot of mid-range Mirana, but we didn't get to see a lot of Mirana at Dota Pit. And I can't really speak for ESL Genting and WESG because the hours were ridiculous for me and I only caught what I could. But do you think Mirana is still a hot commodity, or is this just kind of Envy/NP special?
They need a mid hero that can kind of just fight a lot from the about 15-minute mark onward. I don't think Mirana's that good right now, honestly. She's okay. She kind of does what Mirana does, but I think she got surpassed in that role by Quap, I think, for the most part, for quite a while. I think EG literally ran these first 3 heroes with a Quap mid for the last pick, so I think Envy's just more comfortable playing Mirana than pretty much anything else middle at this point. So I can see why they pick it, but yeah, and also there's not that much to kill him, I think. It's just one of those lineups where if the Lone Druid gets a good lane and the Mirana has a decent start in lane, then they can pretty much just rely on pushing with Enigma, and they don't have to focus on getting like huge black holes, so they have to
Yeah.
save everyone with that. They don't have to worry about the global being a huge thing. Because right now, if they don't have to rely on the black hole hugely, then this silencer might just end up being, well, you see what
Wasted.
happens when silencers get hit by lone druids at this point. They just
Yeah.
kind of disappear.
They don't have a way to run. They have a way to shut people up and not really a way for themselves to get away from bears. That's unfortunately not really in their toolkit. But so it sounds like then Freedom would want to pressure Envy in the mid lane. We haven't seen a lot of Tusk do that. Like before there was Earth Spirit, it was like Tusk kind of doing what Earth Spirit did, if you will. Like we saw Jarek's playing, we saw these heavy roam aggressive players being able to add the pressure on the mid lane. Do you think we'll see the Tusk do that in this game for Freedom? Like, is he going to have to like what? I want to know what he's going to have to do in the early game, and why they didn't just go for an Earth Spirit instead of a Tusk. Like, I would suppose they valued the defensive capabilities, but what do you think?
I think Uspirit Silence is like a bit kind of too focused on making people shut up for the most part. You got like lots of AoE damage, and like, okay, if the fight goes on long enough, like you're all gonna lose HP eventually, but like, can you just please die now rather than later, kind of thing. But yeah, with Tusk, you actually have someone that can just snowball in. You have a go. Abba can actually get on top of people now. Alright, so Team Freedom's draft is literally all about, we will pop global, we will have decent lanes, Spectre will get on top of Lone Druid, and then we're going to kill him somehow. That is how their draft functions. If they kill the CM a few times early on, and CM falls behind, then Tusk and Abba can pretty much do what they want. And if Weaver... I don't think it's too hard for Team Freedom to start snowballing, really.
Okay.
NP just need to make sure Lone Druid has a good time. If he gets to like Dragon Lance, like level 10, 15, like level 15 is the point where he starts shredding people. So if Freedom gets strong enough before that point, then I think they have a good chance of taking fights. But I think the heroes are really bad at taking objectives for the most part, because they have to commit with like 3 heroes with a Baden, especially because they have a Spectre.
So it's free. It sounds like Freedom need to hope that MP kind of flub up the laning phase in some way, where you get your little Crystal Maiden a bit caught out of position and you take advantage of that. Like,
I think it's...
or is it more on the Tusk having to make things happen so they can snowball? Because you're saying they need a snowball, so it's either got to be that MP are going to flub up in some way and you capitalize on that and snowball off of it, or they need to find their own openings. But do you bank on MP like making mistakes? I wouldn't think so. So Jubei's got to do stuff. He's got to do work. That's what it sounds like.
Jubei is he's a doer of stuff, as they say.
He played a lot of bounty hunter and stuff. Like he knows that role.
Yeah, I'm just looking. So it's Tomato playing Silencer, so he's going to be making people shut up from middle. So that's pretty good. He's like, they have a Silencer that's not entirely focused on his global, so that's pretty nice. He also, I think he probably will slap Envy in lane for a bit if he doesn't get help. Yeah, for the most part, I think MP just need to have a decent laning phase, and they need to not feed kills to Spectre. Because I think this Spectre starts off like going 3-0, like first 10 minutes, then he goes to 5-0, then he gets a fight with this like Manta, and then he goes to 10-0, like, you know, then he might die once, but he's still killing like Wyverns and Crystal Maidens after him, right? So it's going to be a case of the increasingly large Spectre or the Lone Druid that no one can stop. So I just want to see which one it is.
And I would imagine, especially this new 2017 Lone Druid, if you will, I'm talking about like that sniper-esque kind of a Lone Druid. He peaks and beats out a sniper, or a Spectre rather, sooner, right? It comes online. Like when you're going for a Spectre, you're going all into the late game.
Well, okay. Spectre, if he starts doing well, he will become strong around the same point that Lone Druid does. And Lone Druid's not strong in the same way. Like Lone Druid is strong in terms of you have anyone in front of you, to like, so you don't get initiated on. You will kill 2-3 heroes very, very quickly. Spectre will not allow that to happen. Spectre will get on top of you. So it's all about... I think Spectre's farm is the thing to watch in this game for the most part.
Well, we'll see if the Spectre is going to be able to have the wiggle room, if you will, in the laning stage or not. Based on the matchup you're going to have, I mean, you said it was going to be a mid lane silencer, so that's a core, or it's a Eagle Weaver, who is going to be one to kind of move around. So Weaver Tusk duo, don't see that a whole lot often. But yeah, everyone's kind of leaving, coming back. Coordinators making it difficult. I know. I went through it just a bit earlier.
Okay, I'm
I appreciate you reaching out to help them right now. What is it? Some sort of like shop
Yeah,
bug?
it's you're really crackly for me at random points.
Oh, my audio is?
Yeah, you're really crackly for me. I don't know why. It's not my end. I was just on TS before, so
Yeah,
it's on your end.
it's this it's we have our TeamSpeak slash Skype slash Codecaster set up on a second PC, and its audio input for whatever reason is bad. So we'll probably have
Yeah,
to
I think
change it out,
I
or else.
can kind of understand. I'm going by context clues for the most part here. Maybe we'll improve later on.
Yeah,
Just kind of
we'll get it. We'll set up something different so it's better for you. It's only you that hears it as well. The
yeah, it's
audience at
only me.
home and everyone, don't have to deal with Robot Me. So I'm sorry.
I'll
We'll
suffer for
get
the
something
rest of the
set up
world.
for at least the next game, so you don't have to put up with it. But appreciate you dealing with it in the meantime. It looks like we are going to get underway. Now that that's all resolved, I was kind of just identifying there that it's obvious that with Tomato taking the silence into the mid lane, it's a support duo of Tusk and Weaver. Now, those are two bangers of supports that are, probably going to look to take action, and you're looking at a team that needs to snowball. Seems in theory pretty good, but what do you think about them as a support duo?
Um, I'm not really sold. I think this lane will be really easy for Enigma to get quite a lot out of, especially if there's like one support that can sit there for like the first go. If the first go for Tusk and Weaver doesn't work, I think that barring Weaver getting like an amazing mid gank or something, I think they're gonna have a really hard time getting like good farm compared to like the CM, because CM's just gonna be jungling. Lone Druid's gonna be like dominating bot lane, I think. So it's yeah, these lanes, if they don't get a lot done very, very early, they're gonna get out farmed massively, I think. Like mid lane will be their saving grace, but other than that, I think it's really up to something good to happen because they got a smoke. So, but it has to be on the Enigma or the Wyvern.
I was gonna say, otherwise you're reaching towards maybe this bottom lane. I mean, we know Mike. He loves the hell out of this off lane Abaddon trend, and he's played it more than most, and maybe he'll be able to make openings himself. I'm looking at top lane now, though, as Eagle's making his initial move in towards Rose, but this is an expected duo lane from NP here, as they're gonna try to make things as easy and as good as possible for MSS, and they're already going to be shoving them back and looking to kind of deboard a bit.
I did not mean to ping that shrine. So, Tomato just laning a bit here. It looks like Tomato has the slight block advantage, but that's not going to matter because you can double wave his Marana very easily.
Eagle is obviously keeping tabs on MSS here. I mean, this is what to be expected on what the Enigma is capable of doing in the off lane with this camp just so close. He'll take some of the XP, but I don't think it's going to be too much trouble for MSS right now. But is annoying.
Eagle just wants to learn how to jungle Enigma. He wants to watch someone else do it. He's just like,
yeah. I mean, he has a front row seat. He wants this creep, but
oh, he wants it. He
he's going to get it.
Oh no! Oh yes.
Oh, okay. He got it. All worth it for him. MSS, he can be a tilty kind of a player.
Yeah, he can. I don't know. I've played on teams with him. He's usually pretty calm, unless he's playing against like something like techies or something, or he's playing with techies. Either one. Techies is usually the deciding factor there.
Fair enough. But I'm sure him and Eagle go back. They've probably butted heads in a couple of games, and he'll shrug that one off for now and take himself back to the lane. He still has Rose nearby, who's kind of keeping watch as there's still Eagle hanging around, but no intense action really breaking out yet. It is eyes on Freedom to find a way to be able to snowball or take the initiative in the laning phase, because otherwise you are going to be looking at it like just an owie casually farming away here in the bottom lane, bulking up and getting bigger. It doesn't even look like mid lane is getting outclassed by Tomato's silencer call here. He is hitting him pretty hard with some harassment. He's got to be a bit careful, but Envy is still winning the CS game.
Yeah, that's going to change in a bit because the initial effect after double waving gives you like a slight advantage because enemy you can win trades because you have more creeps and so on and so forth. You can harass while the enemy hero is trying to last it, but that effect is diminished as the lane goes on, especially when he's going to get.
Oh, Jube going for the block off there, not going to be able to get the connection, and Rose will be on the other side and be able to avoid the trouble. Could have been a potential opening there for a takedown, but it's kind of hard to say now as they'll just have to let that one slide. Keep wanting to touch.
Basically, Tomado's going to start winning now. But I'm looking at bot, really. I think this is one of the lanes which is kind of important because I don't think Laundry should be able to free farm against Abaddon because you can just kind of run at him and attack the bear a lot. But I think if he's not careful, he might fall over. But no, he's doing all right. Mike's getting okay farm. He's getting full XP, so
Yeah, when's the
he can't be.
safe point for him? Like, when does he feel like he's doing great? Is it the pickup of an item here? Like any sort of
It's just level 6, and you're
just
just
getting
like,
level
well,
6 and getting
yeah.
borrowed time?
You just start running at people, and then
Okay.
they're just like, Abaddon, please no. And you're like, yes, I'm going to continue running at you. And then it just kind of goes on until someone stops you, or you kill them.
So Mike's got to feel pretty good. I mean, 4.5 at 3.5 minutes in. There has been a lot
This
from
is
MP to
his
slow him down.
thing.
Yeah, but this, yeah, as I was saying at the start, like, this is what Mike does. He's been doing this for the past couple of patches, 7.0 or before. You know, he always tries to make it bad in the thing. I mean, he totally has ditched Batrider apparently, but
Oh,
it's Jubei who gets the
finally
first
happened.
blood. Yeah, top lane. Looks like they're able to kind of catch Rose out of position. Last time it was a swing and a miss. This time, though, they found connection, and first blood is going to be going the way of the Freedom Boys.
Another team tries to kill BSJ early on in the laning phase, and they pay for their folly. He goes
How
and
dare
uses
they?
his mid-player shrine. He knows it's worth it for him. He will walk back to his safe lane, and he will farm what is available. By attempting to kill him, they have only guaranteed his farm.
And he's probably
Now,
angry now, too. So maybe not angry, but miffed. I don't know if
you
you
don't
want
want to
to...
piss this guy off.
Yeah.
Sometimes I wake up in the morning and I queue a US East pub. And I look on the enemy team and I see ESJ. And I know that I've lost my MMR before it even begins. No, seriously. It has happened numerous times and it makes me very, very sad. But I know the MMR is in a better place now.
He queues EU as well?
No, he queues. I can queue US East and Europe at the same time
Oh,
because
how
of
good for you.
location. So
Nice.
yeah, it's shorter queue times if I queue both.
Well,
and
you
I
know what you're
end up
getting
this
into
guy.
when you queue over here. So
Yeah.
it looks like Mike is reached his level 5 now, but obviously by the way he's postured up in this bottom lane, he hasn't been needed to shift gears a whole lot. I mean, nearby SVG is doing his own little thing on the Crystal Mating, farming up on the side, hasn't been threatened too much there. Eyes really just continue to stay mostly towards this top lane and how the CS game is matched up in the mid, where, as you mentioned before, Tomato has been able to kind of take an opening here against Envy. He's currently the highest CS, 30 and 16. So, you know, taking advantage of that point. Envy, how long should he stay here? How long before he goes around and starts shooting arrows and, you know, make some fights happen?
I don't think there's anything for him really to do. I think he just tries to get as much as possible here. I think he's playing a bit too scared, but I think he's worried about Tusk going on him because then...
Oh, making a move for SVG bottom lane. They catch him with the bugs. They need a few right clicks here. Owie's trying to keep him back.
Eagle's going in.
And he's going to be able to do so. Salve is going to be there. He continues to heal up, but Eagle's looking to make his move. By the time he gets to SVG, he almost have half of his life, but he will be able to bring him down. Eagle.
I was just not right-clicking with his bear. That's odd. Yeah, okay. So, Envy gets the Invis top. Tomato continues to just hit creeps in a very dominating fashion. And BSJ is about to get ran at by numerous heroes, but unfortunately they're going to spot that out with the Observer Ward. So, BSJ with the godlike map sense, he will retreat.
Got it.
So, this early game's going pretty okay for BSJ and co, I think.
Oh,
Except he runs straight
but
into Zaziri.
he got back seeing them from the ward, but he wanted to get that bounty rune, and not going to be able to get it. SVG and Rose, the supports, shifting that way. Will at least take that back with themselves, even though they weren't able to get that precious gank onto the Spectre here. But mid lane, we have
Envy
an
wants the Weaver.
Invis Envy here. No opening going to be there for Eagle, but he turns back towards the mid lane because he's got company on the way here, looking for an opening possibly on Tomato, who does not have his level 6 global. So he's cautious though, man.
Here. He's just playing. He's playing like he doesn't know to try and bait something, but he realizes that if they're going on me, there's probably an Enigma waiting around the corner with a black hole.
He is definitely not top.
So, but he's still probably going to die.
But he still goes in. He still gets black holed, and he still dies. Mike's here now, but too late if he wanted to get there in time for a save or counterplay. Real unfortunate. He might have been able to spot out Envy running around under the Invis. Top lane rolling on forward is going to be Jubei, along with BSJ. They try to lock down Rose. Gets off the cold embrace, but that's not going to be enough. He'll drop, and it is going to be another kill going the way of Freedom. But MP were able to get themselves on the board and got that nice little gank onto the Silencer.
So, Silencer going down, that's pretty important. That opens up this lane and pretty much game from Rana now. So she's going to be able to start farming the wave, start pushing it out, because Silence is probably going to be going, like, I don't really want to just use all of my spells on Potom now, because it's like, it doesn't really feel worth it at this point. So Podham's farm will accelerate. Lone Druid is going to keep doing what Lone Druid does, but I think the main thing about this game for Freedom is they need to find a point where they can start fighting with this Abba. Because he's probably going to go back to base and get some mana at some point, and then he's going to come down with max Aphotic Shield, and then people are going to start falling over. And if that ends up being Lone Druid, then I think NP are in a pretty tough spot if they can't get another good black hole.
And it sounds like you're definitely going to be needing like Jubei with you. I don't know how you get Mike into a fight without it being like a snowball or a way to block off the enemy. He's got phase boots though, so I mean he can be a bit speedy, but you know they just kind of would turn and run as best as possible from the Abaddon there. But we'll see if Mike finds his way to get some fighting gloves on and get some action. But for now, he's going to pay a visit, what looks like to the bottom lane down there. We'll touch base with Mighty BSJ. He's still 4th in CS, but as we switch to net worth, it's about the same in that department. So even though the overall early game feels pretty good for Freedom, do you like where BSJ is at the moment, or do you think he should be a bit further along?
No, I think this is fine. He's sacrificing his own farm for the Weavers, so he's making the selfless play, guaranteeing that Eagle will get his timing level 6. He's also got his medallion now. He's going to buy another Blightstone, so he becomes the minus Armored Lord. So when they get Weaver level 6, Tusk is about to get 6. Spectre's probably going to get... They're probably going to wait until he gets something a bit more than Brown Boots with his Helm of the Dom. But then past that, I think they're pretty much game to take almost any fight, especially with Global. Silence has also got his Veil coming up.
Yeah.
Everything's just kind of coming together. Now, it depends if they're going to do anything with things coming together, because honestly, starting fights isn't particularly easy. Initiating here, look, you've got Snowball with an Abaddon hitting someone. That is your main form of, like, go.
Not the best ever. Might see a potential breakout here in the top lane. It looked like MP were trying to make an advancement, breaking down the wave, dishing out the Eidolons. They wanted to make a push happen. Rose is going to be forced to go for a TP. Is going to be able to make it out just in time, as Eagle was able to kind of poke him down quite a bit. Blightstone and Medallion already showing a little bit of work right there. But no heavy push will be had from NP on this one, so they pull off for now. But who does it favor? If you're looking for Freedom to kind of keep fighting and start taking advantage in that front, is MP winning then at that point if they're not taking fights and we're just playing a farm versus farm kind of a game here?
Well, the thing is, like, I would say that I would be comfortable, but, like, the Lone Druid's just... He's gone Midas, which I don't actually agree with. I don't think Midas is worth it at this point, because you don't have, like, the Dragonlance and Maelstrom as fast as you would like. But I don't even... I think he's just going normal, like...
Yeah, we saw this yesterday. Yesterday, Moo did the same thing on Complexity. I mean, in that game, they had a huge advantage, so we're like, oh, he went Midas because he could. And it's like, at this point, might as well just go with, you know, old school Lone Druid. But... yeah, Howie here is doing old school Lone Druid even when it's not like way ahead. He's going to be losing his bear, it looks like, here in the mid lane. It's going to get shot down. So 300
Tomato,
gold pocketed.
Donation, friend.
Yeah.
Tomato is very rich now. He is going for his treads, then he's going to get his force. He's having a pretty good game. No one's really going off into the sunset in terms of farm at this point, but I think everyone's kind of okay with that. Everyone's kind of going, okay, we're going to take a fight with our big spell now, and then we're going to win. And both teams are happy doing
nice
that,
connection onto Eagle here from Envy. Oh, he star storms and then leaps in, so he doesn't get it onto Eagle. Has to go into the Moonlight Shadow, but he ends up going down himself. And with BSJ coming in, he's able to participate. He's able to take the kill. Very awkward trade right there. Bottom lane.
TP out front.
Yeah, they're going to take advantage of a lone SVG, but he's already made the move for the TP and will be able to make it out. Very awkward there, unfortunately. Mid lane, I don't think it will stop. Splinter Blast, looking to make a go onto Tomato, and he does not have global, but he doesn't have to worry. Just getting chomped out a bit, but not too much threat there. Still pretty nice for Freedom. That's a big little boost right there for BSJ.
Yep, so he is now treads Hum of the Dom. He's in pretty fighting shape. He's going to clarity up, so he's ready to battle, but Eagle just gets got.
All right, well, Envy bounces back from that trade in the river.
It's Tomato Death by Black Hole version 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Let's see it. There it is. The dance floor has been put out, and unfortunately, Tomato's shuffling his way into death. He goes down, and MP strike back suddenly with 2 quick kills. And now they're going to make it tier 1. Yeah, so, all right. Their economy is going to shove right back up. This game pretty much right back into the even territory. Eagle happy to stand under the tower and defend, but not the rest of the team is there. Mike showing up now. Mike, who had not been involved in really too many fights this game, is here now, has to bail out Eagle, it looks like. But there's not enough to save him, so he just goes down. Envy takes him down twice straight now. And suddenly things are seriously on the up and up for Team NP.
Oh, that's so sad. He gets arrowed and he looks over to his Abaddon and sees like a Aphotic Shield 5-second cooldown and he's just like, oh no. What did I do
He
to
tried to
deserve
give him a
this?
heal at least, you know. So
Yeah.
it's
At least he tried to save him, but
there's
yeah, he
something,
didn't
buddy.
really have the power.
Sorry.
This'll come
But
in handy.
Silence is... He doesn't really do that much if he isn't really farmed as a core, because he has to be able to like use his spells and right people. He doesn't win just by being there like some heroes do. He actually needs to be hitting people the entire time, and if you don't have farm, it's quite difficult to do that. So I'm just kind of worried about him. Like as strong as BSJ may end up being, although he's not really strong right now, I don't think it's going to be enough to compensate for the silencer getting gone on by either Potom or Lone Druid at some point later on in this game.
Yeah, he's still going to need a lot of nourishment if we want to get the Spectre to a threatening level, at least one scarier than where Envy and Lone Druid's going to be ending up soon. They do take a tier 1 tower, so they'll take the change that they can find, while MP get their own trade up here at the top. But it seems like Envy has already gone, you know, on his own expeditions to try to make some kills happen. He pockets a Haste Rune for now, and they go right into Moonlight Shadow, but they are going to get possibly hit from behind. There goes a Sentry. They pop their dust, but it's a bit too late. They still manage to get the snowball off, but Envy's already far and far away, so he'll make it out mid lane. It looked like they were potentially looking to make an advancement, but MP's rounding all the way back behind mid lane. He's going to cut the creep wave even.
Yeah, he's just being efficient with his Haste Rune and Arcane Rune at the same time. Just looking at items, so he's pretty far off Ags. Enigma's going for something. That's just a vague assortment of items. Wyvern, well, Glimmer Cape at some point. Radiant's coming up pretty soon for Lone Druid. He's about to get the Relic at a decent time. His farm isn't the best, but it's... With only 2 towers, I don't think it's okay.
All right, well,
I think
Dire...
SVG is the one who's mainly suffering, but yeah.
Yeah, Dire lose their courier here. I think it was in a awkward trade in the mid lane with Mike receiving. I'm not too sure, to be honest. They did change the hotkey here, but whatever the case may be, Mike and Envy cross paths. Envy just happy to be in the area just to steal a creep. But really being a nuisance right now, pulling a lot of attention on himself. And obviously that means attention away from Owie here, who could just be like the insurance policy for NP at this point. Farming up and just bulking up on the back of that Midas. And he's almost going to be having a Radiance.
So he will become strong. And then when he becomes strong, there are many things that he can do when he is strong. But right now he is currently not strong.
Okay.
But when he is,
Great
he
assessment,
will
by
run
the way.
down the lanes.
I mean, you're really dumbing it down for me, so...
Oh, no.
Yeah.
This is how I think when I play games. I go, is that guy strong? If he is, I want to run with him down the lane. If he isn't, then I'm just going to go on the other side of the map, you know?
Fair enough. Like, he's strong. I'm kind of strong, but am I stronger than his strong? Well,
yeah.
let's
it's
duke it
literally
out.
How I think. It's probably why I'm not very good anymore. Who knows? But BSJ, he's starting his Manta. He's got his
he's starting to realize that he might be in a bit of trouble.
Oh, not the dog. Not the dog.
The dog's done for. SVG.
No, he's gonna live. He's gonna live. He's gonna be okay.
How much life does that
Dog's
thing
gonna be
frickin'
fine.
have? No, it's done.
No, it's not
done.
gonna be fine.
Yeah, it's down. But
he didn't deserve that.
Here comes the snowball from Jubei. Got that illusion, and the rest of MP have already waddled their way out. I feel like this could be the beginning of the, you know, kill streak here from Freedom. Yeah, I know. He's being chased down. Nice splinter shot connection will slow him quite a bit. Can we get a root? Oh, can't get close enough for it.
He saved ulti. He saved ulti. He doesn't want to skill it yet.
He would hate to have to use it. He would hate to... Okay, he's fine. He makes it back in a while.
Yeah, X-Mike does this every single time. He just waits to skill ulti. Even up to... He's got 2 save skill points right now, so...
He's just so edgy with the Baden, you know? Who else plays with Baden like Mike?
He really just has it down to
a
a science.
It's just his thing, you know? I'm surprised he doesn't still pull out like the Enchantress from time to time, as if it's still, you know, would be a powerhouse in the offlane or
God, that
not.
was obnoxious.
Bottom lane, a move in for the tier 1 from NP. Really looks strong, not much to stop it. Mike comes in trying to be the goalie, but he quickly gets hit with a lot of harassment. Well, there he has leveled up his borrowed time, but only to fend off a bit of the harassment. There goes the long arrow. No connection will be made. MP still moving forward. Eagle is dancing behind him a bit.
This game feels really strange. I think MP are going to fall behind quite quickly. If I'm just looking at like individual networks, like
okay, BSJ, who had been farming top lane, they're going to be dishing out the haunt, looking to catch out the rest of MP as they depart here. There goes the global, but it looks like MP are each finding a way to make it out from here without too much trouble. The only one who's going to be going down seems to be maybe the bear. Yeah, they'll get the bear, but everyone else found a way, found a pocket to hide in, and got out.
Yeah, that wasn't what they wanted.
No, I don't think so. When you commit globals and pretty much all of your team is down there, I imagine you were hoping to get some kills.
Yeah, you are hoping to get at least a few. BSJ's side, he wants to get his Radiance at this point, so he's like, the game's going to slow down a bit. I'm not going to fault his decision making, it's far better than mine. I kind of prefer Manta so we could burst someone, but again, like, you're probably not going to get any enemy heroes alone, so Radiance is probably better just so you can farm, because he needs to be big in this game. He is probably going to be the damage dealer of all damage dealers when this game gets a bit later, so Radiance is probably going to help him both farm and just generally be AoE damage man.
Crystal Maiden might need to consider getting a little bit of meat on the bones here. Could end up being free money for BSJ at any given haunt. If, you know, she's not as lucky like Coddle, let's say, and has that level 1 talent that gives him strength. Uh-oh. Freedom. See that something's going on here. Roche is already down, though. It's going to be picked up from Owie. Freedom will have no say in the matter. But NP already looking to make their advancement down the mid lane. Envy, who has that invis, is looking to get close and maybe catch someone out, but they will not pull the trigger at the moment. And in fact, we'll look to split off. Envy will head to the bottom lane to finish out his remaining farm. He is so close to getting the Agnems, he actually might have it here in just a second. And that will really just, you know, as we all know, raise the potential of this Mirana. Goes from pretty damn good to ridiculous with an Agnem Scepter.
Oh, he aims right at BSJ, but BSJ wanted this to happen.
Oh goodness, BSJ's in trouble. Has to dagger to make it to the high ground and get the hell out of there.
He knew that he would have just enough mana to TP, he knew he would survive, so he forces his rotation, causes Mirana to miss CS on the bot lane for a bit, stops her from pushing out the lane for a while, just creates space for his team. He knew exactly what he was doing.
Alright, you can't be too BSJ biased here, Rhyme, alright?
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'll try not to.
Can't be too biased for BSJ, I know.
Okay, I'm sorry. It's just hard not to become a fan very, very quickly. Okay, MSS has got his mech, he's probably... Yeah, he's got 2k gold, he could probably go for BKB, I think, or he could go for Dagger and just go for the Silencer all day. Glimmer Cape up on the Wyvern. CM has got 1.6k gold, probably going to decide to get something vaguely in that price bracket. All in all, I think MP, they can just run down lanes at this point. They have nothing to be scared of. They've got the Aegis, they've got the tools at their disposal, so to speak.
Very nice. Well, we'll see if that's going to be the call or not. For a while, it looked like MP were kind of hesitant to start like moving with their aggression in the mid game, but they are in high gear now, and we'll have to see. I mean, as mentioned, Envy with this Axe, I'm sure is going to be itching at the opportunity to see if they can isolate anyone out. They already have those nice deep wards. See that there's no threat even up in the jungle, so they're just going to keep moving down mid lane here. BSJ will continue his split push and just kind of participate at a moment's notice with Haunt, but we'll have to see what Freedom can do here. They have global, they have everything up. Do they even bother defending the tier 2? Is it worth their time? Mike thinks so. He's in there looking to possibly even go for the deny. Not going to be able to get it, and they're quickly going to have to backpedal and get inside the base here. Any reason why MP shouldn't just continue to be like sharks in the water outside the base of Freedom?
BSJ farms too, like they'll just farm too much on the Spectre, I think. Also, Weaver will get space, and you don't want to give, like, I think a key part of this is like balancing how much you're actually like taking objectives with how much farm you're giving the enemy team, because sure, you can take every single objective in the game, but if the enemy team all farms at the same rate that you do, it's probably actually not going to be worth it. But if you can move in a way that you stop them from farming the map, and you farm the areas that they want to farm, and then you get objectives, it's a lot better. You can usually do that by pushing an area and then using that to create threat on the map. So you go missing for a while, and then you will make the enemy wonder if you're smoked or not. If you get a pick off, that's great, then they start farming that way. But you make them scared, and in that time, you kind of show up like out of nowhere on the lane somewhere, and then they can't really react to stop you. And then they have to choose whether to farm or to fight you at that point. But minimizing the amount of time that they can farm is far more imperative than just taking as many objectives as possible.
Yeah.
Unless you're like in TI4 and you're just pushing down the lane with a DK and a Death Prophet, in which case...
Bottom lane, a jump for Rose here as they catch out the little Wyvern support. He's going to get the Cold Embrace off. Rotations are coming in. How long do they want to commit? Turn around. There goes the ulti. It's going to be locking Jubei in place. Eagle's going to hit him a few times. Now comes out the ulti from SVG, but it's not going to make too much connection, nor do a lot of damage. It looks like they may be able to grab Jubei. He's going to be the one man left behind, but with MP pretty much rotating everyone over and only taking that, it's not the worst thing in the world for Freedom. Mike had still been grinding away at the farm here in the mid lane. BSJ did not have to get involved with the Haunt. They're still chasing in for Mike a little bit, but there they'll eventually pull off. Now, overall, it feels pretty good for Freedom because they're still stalling things out. And, you know, I was going to say after the point you were making is I'm curious how much extra influence something like an Aegis would have. You know, where MP want to kind of stall and not allow BSJ to be farming. How much of it, though, do they want to just maybe push forward with objectives because they have the advantage of the Aegis? I think they'd want to siege, you know, while they have it, but might have to hold your thought. Mike's in trouble again mid lane here. We'll have to pop out the borrowed time, but they are walking him home. And just sit the hell down. Just sit the hell down. MSS just drops a black hole right on his head, sends him and his mustache into a different dimension, and, well, I don't know if that means MP can continue moving forward, but yeah, it's real nice.
The first time you kill a Abaddon like that, it's just like, we've used black hole on him and it felt good. He's dead now. We can just push a lane and we don't have to worry about that stupid guy just running in, just hitting the bear, going, haha, I'm here with blade mail, you can't kill me. No, we have killed you, you've been black holed, you are dead. Okay, but now BSJ is giving some space to farm. He's got his Radiance now. Weaver's getting closer to something. 1.8k gold, nothing in his quick buy for now. Probably going to be an Ags, probably going to save his Spectre. Or he might go for Dasso and just go gunning for SVG at some point. But it's going to be Shrine time for
Shrine
NP.
time. Yep, just as the tier 2 falls. Good takedown here from NP. They'll score him a few extra bucks. And we'll take an early look at the net worth here. It still feels pretty good as MP are just farming the majority of the map that much better. I mean, yeah, Freedom do have, of course, the Spectre and the Weaver trying to take advantage of the side lanes and building up as much as possible here, but I can't help but feel like, Ryan, we're just getting to a point where it's really all on the Spectre to try to make something happen.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't see Silencer becoming like that core. I mean, this is a Silencer who started mid lane.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want him to be like just like a global only. You know, you'd hate for a core Silencer to end up being in a point where a support Silencer would be in this game, and that's just, you know, hoping to get off some good globals.
Yeah, you got to think, like, when you have a core Silencer like this, who is he going to hit? Like, there's going to be Spectre. Spectre's hitting everybody. But
yeah.
Silencer, he's got 4 stuff, so he has that to save himself. But is he going to hit the bear? Like, Lundred's hero's not going to be too close to him. Everyone's got Glimmer Capes now.
Yeah.
Podham's got Leap, so is he going to have to do stuff during the global?
He's going for a Dragon Lance, I guess, to try to help with range. I was thinking maybe a Hurricane. Hurricane Pike. Yeah. Hurricane Pike, of course, would help a little bit for someone who's trying to get some right clicks in.
Yeah, but he's going to have a hard time. He's basically going to become an accessory to the Spectre, I think. And then when Spectre starts getting kills, so will the Silencer. But Silencer's not an individual actor in this game, and I don't think he will be for quite a while. MSS, oh, he's got a bit of farm here.
Yeah, we were curious to see what his build-up was going to be, because at this point in a game where you're an Enigma versus Silencer, you might want to start considering ways to deal with the global, but he is going to go for the Lotus, it looks like, so he will have a way to deal with it.
Yep, so he's got a way to purge off the global, so it's basically like, if MP can force the global without using Black Hole, then the fight is pretty much theirs, because the Spectre doesn't actually have enough at this point. And it's really just waiting for... MP don't really seem like they're going to get a pick off, because in order to do so they probably have to use Black Hole, and then the global kind of counterplays that, but they probably still can get something, because the Black Hole keeps them in place long enough that they can kind of surround the hero and then follow them during the global and then kill them after. But I'm just wondering what they're really waiting for, because they've got BKB on Envy now. They've got... Is it the AC on Lone Druid? I think they can push without that, but... Oh, IX Mike is being annoying again. Gets rooted for his trouble. Gets sent off back to his homeland.
Yeah, he's being annoying, but doesn't feel like it's doing anything for the benefit of his team right now. You know, just kind of keeping him in check a bit. Still feels a bit awkward for him. And if we're talking about, you know, what their placement is. Here comes MP, by the way, man. They are charging down this mid lane.
They ran down mid straight under a sentry, so...
They are charging down this mid lane. Purge Creep heading all the way up top to see if they can scout out BSJ or Silencer. But mid lane, ooh. No connection there. Eagle makes it back inside. What do you do if you're Jubei now and you're the Tusk? Are you here for the saving grace of your mighty BSJ? Breaking down waves?
Yeah, pretty much. You are the snowball that goes onto the Lone Druid hero at some point. You are the other guy that stops the CM ulti, apart from the silence.
That's true.
Yeah, but he's going to become a glorified Solar Crest when he gets that. Right now he's a glorified Medallion.
Okay. And they have 2 of those, too. Mike forced to go into borrowed time as the Bear continues his siege here. MP playing this one a bit slow paced, keeping him back, as they are not looking to overextend or get caught out. While this happens, you know, BSJ still farming up this top lane. MP's going to be there, or Envy rather is going to be there to stop the aggression of this top push, but for now MP are not going to be able to do any sort of real base damage, and will pull back and wait for the Roche.
Yeah, Roche is just spawned now. No one's... Oh, they're going to check it with the creep. Okay, so now the next tier of items. AC Lone Druid, BKB Enigma, Podum, whatever he wants, because Mjolnir is... Yeah, people have kind of shied away from going like, I'm going to go Ags, I'm going to go E-Blade, then I'm going to go Dagon, because it's like, actually, you're so reliant on getting that initial pick for a fight that if you can't really stand around and right-click anybody.
Yeah. And Envy definitely hasn't really played it that way. Oh, not going to be able to get the stop in time. Envy makes it out. That was a haunt committed too.
I'm surprised he didn't try and like just shards for that vision, but yeah. I think shards still provides vision. I don't think they've changed that, right? Oh, well.
Not too sure.
Eagle going for Ags, 800 off. Aoi going for Aegis, 8,000 HP off. BSJ is just going to farm down here, no TP. He's got Arcane Rune, so he's got Haunt up in 50.
Does he have enough for buyback? I mean, yeah, it looks like he does. I mean, I can just see it's coming down to...
buybacking, I don't feel...
I mean, I don't know. I can almost foresee it's going down to just one fight in the mid lane, and if Freedom don't really do that well in it, I mean, MP could just roll through a Rax or two.
They've realized they can't do anything about this Roche. They can't stop it. But they're going to farm as much as they can. And I just think Radiant has too much sustain. There's just way too much sustain on this team. They got mechs, they got Lotus Orbs, they got Wyverns and Pipes. I think they're just going to survive. They just have too many heroes, too much farm for Spectre to really do that much. He's going for a Heart on Spectre, which I kind of... It's okay. I think he's not going to do very much damage. They're kind of trying to win by attrition over long fights, but I don't think that they really have the damage to do that.
Uh-oh. They're making chase for Mike here. Mike had to pop his borrowed time to make it away from Envy. And eventually he will blink away, and that will be the end of it here. Just Mike being annoying as usual. Draws the attention of MP towards the top lane for a little bit. Continues to try to prolong for the mighty BSJ Spectre to farm up. More farm here. I mean, when are we getting at all to a point? Is there like a win condition that's rising for Freedom that's like, oh my goodness, this Spectre is getting to a point where he will be unstoppable? Like, I'm trying to see where the end game here that Freedom are reaching for right now.
I think NP use a lot to kill Spectre, and they don't manage to do it. They're going to have the Weaver Ags, and I think that's how they beat draws like this. You force them to do something which they don't want to do. You force them to stop hitting buildings, you make them want to kill one of your heroes, and then you don't let them do that. Then they waste their resources and the time, and then you just kill them. Sounds very, very easy, but yeah, it's... NP want to hit buildings right now, and I don't think there's much on this earth that can really persuade them to stop.
I mean, an Ags would be so nice to have. If Eagle could finish this Ags before this like fight comes, that would be so nice, but he's not going to be able to make it in time. Because that could be a game changer.
So, Lotus on Enigma. Okay, you Lotus off the silence, you go in for a black hole, Tusk snowballs you, and then you just disappear off into the enemy team.
Alright, they are trying to burst down the bear here. It's costing a lot of the life force here from Mike, as he is going to be going to borrow time, a jump in from Envy to get off a few more pot shots. Mike's pretty low here, but still a game to hang around and bang a bit. Tier 3 is going to get dropped. Raxes are now exposed here. BSJ continues to push down that bottom lane, waiting for the trigger moment to pull in with the Haunt. They will lose the bear. He summons the second one now. Envy look to make his move in. Eagle's going to be going down. Does not have a buyback. Tomato will have to pull out his own buyback, and now is going to be the Haunt from BSJ. It's forcing NP back, but a lot of the damage had been done here. Freedom will reposture up inside the base. Air will be dodged, but MP are just going to be going back in for round 2. Yeah, the bear is still standing.
And Envy, apparently.
Envy goes down. New snowball right as they come right back up. Jubei will lose his own life. Does have a buyback. Is going to have to use it. This could be one of the final hurrahs and holds here for Freedom, unless MP just want to step away with these kind of winnings. They step back. Freedom probably going to be a bit hesitant to overextend outside the front door. And now the Moonlight Shadow. There is a sentry on the high ground here. to see NP kind of just dancing right out the front. But still, this is like an extended standoff now.
Yeah, there's just way too much that's staying on this team, I think. Like, they just can't kill anyone.
BSJ now
It
caught
took
right in
NB
the
to jump
middle.
in
They
first.
got him. Midnight Pulse with the arrow, but there is going to be the commitment used. Coming out from the Agnum's Weaver. Time-lapsing
bear
BSJ.
cannot be
Lotus up
killed.
onto the bear. They'll finally be able to bring him down. There goes the Wyvern ulti, but it's actually on Mike as he uses borrowed time, so he's going to heal up from that. And they're feeling pretty good. They're going to look to go in and try to get the breakdown of SVG, a lone little Crystal Maiden. Arrow, no connection. Glimmer? Glimmer forced to the low ground. Oh, they trap an SVG. He tries to go for the TP, not going to be successful. That was very close and a very cute attempted save there, but not going to be good enough. All right, what do you think about that hold from Freedom? I mean, it's a lot of buybacks. They don't lose a Rax, though. Was it good enough?
They survived with their racks intact, and Spectre didn't die. So I think they have to call that a good fight for them.
Yeah.
What's going to happen the next time? Like, Lone Druid now has Vlad's on his hero. He's got his AC again. He's just going to farm up again to get even stronger. Podon's probably going to show up with a Mjolnir. It's Silence of Shivas that they need to fight as well. They need the Shivas. They need Spectre. Spectre just needs to continue being Spectre for a while, and they need to get a good save with the Weaver.
Yeah.
Because before BSG went down to half HP, then Weaver ulted him back up again, and then they could kind of fight from there.
We got to remember, no black hole. I don't think the global, like, there was that mini fight happening, you know, that mental fight between MSS and the Silencer. Like, clearly, I mean, I don't know. No black hole was committed, and you don't obviously want to be wasting either the global or the black hole. So, without being able to find a good opportunity to utilize that, probably helped quite a bit. But yeah, here, look at this. We're seeing it's Freedom advancing all the way down to the bottom, looking to go for Envy here. Mike trying to scare him back. The snowball's already coming in. He's committed his leap. Now going to get locked. Has to pop out the BKB and the Moonlight Shadow to try to make it away. But his team is far from him. Now BSJ comes in with the Haunt. They will be able to get the takedown of Envy, and that's a 4 times kill streak too. Going to be pocketed an extra 667 gold going to Eagle the Weaver. The rest of NP quickly make haste and continue to head up back and away. Eagle was on chase a little bit there, but looks like that may be the end of it.
Are you ready?
Ready for
BSJ
what?
has taken his rightful place top of the network.
Oh, goodness.
I just get a little bit of bias in there. He's going for his butterfly now. He's got 2k or 3k left until he gets that now. So that's the point where he can just start running into the Baron. They can't really do much to stop him short of just black holing him. So he's getting strong, and that's going to be a concern. Weaver going for a 4-star, so he doesn't kind of die to Podon plus CM, which he has been a bit, which was unfortunate. It's just the Silence of Shivas. I think this is like the main thing. This is the bit which like allows them to hold reliably. And it means that, yeah, he just kind of does a lot of damage, because right now, I think he's just a Hurricane Pike and a few silencing spells.
Does it show how much intel he stole? It doesn't seem to show for me.
No, it's not really showing it.
That's unfortunate.
You can calculate it if you want. You've got
Item
12 in from that.
NA math, you know.
22, 47.
A decent amount.
Yeah, he's still on like 3, I think, or 3 sets of int, I think.
Okay. Okay. Well,
just let me check I did that right. I hope so.
So MP hold for now. They rebalance a bit. Freedom have been able to get some deep ward coverage now that you can tell MP are going to look to try to get rid of. But we could see a stall period until even the next Roche comes up. We have about a minute or so till the new timer. But
actually, no, he hasn't been involved in any kills. He's got
really?
none. He actually just doesn't have any. It's not bugged. He just doesn't have any.
Oh, okay then. That's a very big surprise. Mike, though, they're dishing out everything they can. I mean, look at this. An ult committed. MSS waddling in, but the rest of the team looking to come in from behind. They could be in trouble. Mike's going to be dropping the gem. Mech is going to be popped. MP surrounded a bit. SVG dishes out the ulti to fend off Freedom. Freedom, well, they will backpedal a bit. Will MP pursue here? They make connection and a good route lockdown. They found BSJ, and they're going to look to go for the finish. Time lapse comes in from Eagle. Is it going to be enough to go for the save? He has no mana for the dagger to make it to the low ground. They're trying to help him out, and he will be able to make it out. On the other side, Envy will be able to get the grab onto the Tusk. Freedom lose 2 as they were trying to make the approach onto NP there in the bottom lane.
Yeah, so all in all, it was not that great. They lose 2, and they don't really get that much out of it. So the unfortunate thing is, like, you think, okay, it's great they used all their spells on Abaddon, but then you remember Abaddon is actually like one of their main fighting mechanisms at this point. So without him, they don't really have much.
Yeah, Mike is trying to get that Octarine core, so doesn't have money really pocketed for any sort of buyback here. He only has about 25 seconds, but NP are running down this bottom lane and going right in for this tower and trying to take advantage of the time they got without Mike being involved here. BSJ's walking in. He's eating a lot of damage from that Midnight Pulse. Already they're going to have to pull out the time lapse for him. And even from there, it's like ridiculous. As he comes close, he quickly realizes he's still losing a lot of life, has to step back for the Shrine, and MP are able to take down the Tier 3 without too much extra assistance into the high ground. Pretty much just a bear sieging away with a couple of Eidolons gets the job done. Mike back, though, with a vengeance, blinking all the way into Team NP. NP easily spread, though. They use the Savage Roar, and they are looking to peace out.
Yep, they're happy with that. They get the tower. They stop BSJ from farming for a while.
Okay, they get the block, though, for MSS. Dust after the Moonlight Shadow. He blinks, though. They weren't able to get enough damage in. Mike still chasing, though. Right up and now into NP neighborhood. There goes the Wyvern ulti on the low ground, but they are going to be able to get off the time lapse to help him out. Mike steps back, repositions. Now MP looking to turn. Envy going in, pops his BKB. Freedom are just like, okay, we're good. And
Envy
go
is
back to the
fearless
side
in
of the river.
face of pretty much nothing. So he just goes in. But,
okay, then.
Oh, Rose is going to get this farm top. He's very, very happy with that. So they're just going to spend a while pushing out lanes, and they're probably going to go, okay, when's Roche up again? It's about to spawn. He's got the Mud Golems in there for now. So yeah, they're just going to get Roche and then go again. At that point, they're going to have Refresher on Enigma. And Lone Druid's going to have probably Basher on his Bear, and then... yeah, it's just kind of getting a bit spooky now. Because they're just taking so much building damage every single time. I don't think they're even able to kill a single bear at this point. Maybe with the Shivas they can do a bit more, but... they have the Butterfly on Spectre as well. There's just... no one dies on NP, really. It's kind of sad.
They have lots of sustain that was already acknowledged. You got your mech, you got your Wyvern, and it's proven to be very tough. I mean, is a factor that also just maybe a lack of the damage output from Freedom. I mean, you do have BSJ, but
yeah,
you have a Silencer who's got no stolen intel, so he's not really a right-click beast. And the Weaver has also built a lot of utility.
Damage at all. Like, their kind of thing is like, we win if we survive the fight, but by the time they survive the fight, their entire base is dead. So MP just going to take Roche, and they're going to push probably top or mid or any lane they can really get their hands on. Mike is farming towards his Octarine now, 1,000 left, so... this is just... Freedom have the potential to win fights, they just need to kill like the supports early on, and then the cores can't really do much without them, but... it's so hard to get to the back lines, even with using Horn, like, not many people can follow up.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be... they're going to really need that Octarine core on Abaddon, and then he's just going to be Aphotic shielding everybody and anybody.
Again, though, it feels like a factor of it is this is also if NP try to like take the fight and do like bad or weird things in the fight and don't really care as much about the objectives. But from what we've seen from lately, it's like all they care about is objectives. They will take the easy siege route and just avoid the fight altogether. Really, I mean, look at the kill score in this game. It's just like nothing. Like this, they'll be happy to dodge the fights and just do objectives here. If there's even a remote chance that Freedom could kind of get the upper hand and take the game back their way. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. Sometimes Envy has those moments, but I don't know if I see it happening too much in this game where MP could kind of neglect the objective at hand and just entertain Freedom in a battle.
Smoke Dome.
Or maybe Freedom can do something and catch NP just totally out of left field, you know? There's always that.
They have the Horn top. They want to catch somebody, but I'm just... curious. So yeah, BSG is going to TP mid, and he's going to put his treads back in his inventory. I'm just waiting to see. Okay, they scan, they know they're there, they see the smoke coming. No one on MP should die to this.
And now he's already, the closest available target has already teleported himself right on out.
Lone Druid pushes bot with Radiance too, so yep. NP benefit from that, they get all the lanes pushed out in that time.
Just total dodge.
Freedom just get nothing.
Just a total
That is
dodge.
not ideal.
Yep. And NP can continue their waiting game here a bit until they feel like they want to make some use out of this Aegis before it expires. Which, you know, I'm trying to see if maybe they have an item they're waiting for to really build up to kind of take them to that point or not. But it actually seems like they may be getting into a tussle here. Bottom lane, an advancement for Mike. BSJ, confident, daggering on 4. His eyes are on Envy and Envy alone. He's just rushing right for Envy here. They get some hard shots in. Rose could turn back with the ulti. Won't get anyone connected with it, just more to lock BSJ in his spot and eat some illusion damage, but not enough to get the takedown. Mike now targets Mojo. Mojo's going to get forced, set back to his team, and, you know, MP still just a tough defensive shell to break.
And then BKBs again.
Like, what happened here, man? He's like, it's his victory BKB this game. He's like, we did it! BKB!
He's the gold shining mascot for NP.
And
while they kill the buildings, he will look pretty.
I mean, they're kind of chasing towards Freedom. Freedom are just like, I guess we'll take the run back. I mean, Freedom didn't have to commit a whole lot. They still have their global. They still have their haunt. I mean, they chased after Envy a bit, and Envy used his BKB. That's really what happened, Rhyme.
Yep. I'm just watching Tomato at this point. He's just like, what is my purpose in life?
17 kills.
I was meant to steal the brains, but no brains have come to me.
Yeah, I'm seriously just like, are we seeing the stolen intel this game? No, there's just no kills ever. And Silencer is either just killed at the start or not there at all.
This is a... Oh, something's happening. The smoke coming from
Arrow
MP. Oh, no.
on the
not
wall.
Oh,
what a
my-
beautiful shot. We're reaching for hype at this point. As NP are just stacking the cards in their favor, man. Taking
They
their
have
lineup.
Arcana and Spectre. If there's any time they want to use Haunt, it would be now, but I don't think they really want to take the risk of taking a fight at this point. So,
Yes.
MKB soon on Potter. Lone Druid soon to have anything he wants. Wyvern going for Guardian Greaves, so everyone is getting pretty tanky. MS is going for Shivas, like, they're just getting so difficult to kill. And TM's got Ags now, so everyone's getting frostbitten all of the time.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Gotta remember the new Agnum's
So
change.
annoying to play against.
Everyone gets frostbit if they're stuck inside the ulti for a period of time. Which is likely, you know, likely with their team.
It forces BKB so much. And you can see no one has one. So it means that CM is basically going to be Spectre free for the duration of that ulti. And IX Mike, he's saving for buyback, but he's also wants his Octarine Core quite badly, so he's farming at the speed of light. I'm just... Yeah, Mjolnir coming up on Spectre now. I just feel that... When are NP going to do something?
I don't know.
They've just been
I
happy
mean,
sitting
are
like this
they
for the last
at like
15
yeah?
minutes.
Are they like? Is it really looking like they could get to a point when it's just you wait long enough, like you're just at risk of just being out farmed? I don't know.
No, I think Silencer and Tusk and Weaver are just too underfarmed, really.
Yeah.
Because Spectre, like, everyone goes like, well, Spectre's one of the best late game carries in the game. Well, everyone made those Reddit threads back in, like, 2013. Like, what's the best late game carry? And everyone was like, Spectre, because you kill everyone. But when everyone has, like, 2k HP and a Glimmer Cape and a Lotus Orb and a Guardian Greaves and a Pipe and a BKB, like, it doesn't really... Spectre loses effectiveness very, very, very quickly. Because he doesn't have burst damage. He doesn't... And when the AoE damage is negated, like, I just don't really feel that the Spectre is going to be the thing that carries someone as back. So, it's going to be a team effort, and I don't think he's got much of a team at this point. Because of the way the early game and mid game and pretty much most of the late game has gone so far.
I'd hate if we got to a point where it was late enough where he's just got like the backpack refresher or something like that. I really...
then it does, like, that point, yeah, but I think it's going to... MP going to try to do something
Oh,
for
okay.
them.
Mike's like, I got my Octarine, I can go dance with him again. So he just quickly realizes, though, MP are much stronger than the last time he used to do these antics. Can only hang briefly, and quickly hustles himself back inside the base. Because here comes MP Rhyme, this is time! They feel like they can close this game out here and now, and they're going to be going for it in the bottom lane. They'd already taken down that tier 3. MP is just beelining it for the racks. Doesn't have that Aegis anymore, remember, but he does have now a Satanic to work with, so Still feeling very, very durable here. They just get some mediocre damage on the tower and then quickly rush back. And Freedom are
It was
rushing
worth
in.
it, guys. We did it.
Okay. Well,
Towers, we lost our tier 2.
uh-oh.
So-
SVG. SVG.
Oh, he's fine.
They're chasing
he's gonna
him.
Be great.
And there goes.
Shout
Is he
at
going to go
him,
for... Oh, they're thinking about it. BSJ is locked there, but you know, global to worry about. Can't just casually throw out any sort of black hole here, but there's a root on the BSJ. Time lapse has to come out, jump in from Rose, and a jump out just as fast. Does not commit in.
Wyvern ulti got broken by the Manta. He just basically dodged the...
I was going to say, it wasn't used, but okay, nice. He's trying to go there for the lockdown.
You saw the wings just kind of flapping.
Yeah.
And, he just looked like a bit of a Flappy Bird for a bit there.
Quick, fast.
Oh, the bear, that is a strange shard.
It is.
The
Are
bear's
they...
getting a bit mauled here.
They're not trying to commit too hard for it, but BSJ will. They use
Stop
the
that.
ulti. Do not want to
Stop
lose
the
that bear
Spectre.
early. Envy, though, commits in deep, pops his BKB, is able to get the finish onto Mike. Mike does have that buyback, but does not pull the trigger on it quite yet. At that point, Freedom losing Mike will just kind of
What is this?
retreat back inside the base. Okay, that was just a long fight by that shrine spot there. Very awkward standoff, but Freedom decided to
That
get
was
back
just odd.
inside. Mike's
Like-
going to have to buy back.
Yeah, they don't have fort, and we saw what happened last time. The Rax almost got 3-shotted, so...
All right, BSJ. Mantas, he's low on mana now, though. Freedom are back. As Mike buys back, though, MP are like, get the hell out of here. And they just run away again under the Moonlight Shadow. Not going to be able to move in or get any further damage on the racks. So no progression inside the Freedom base, really. Just a buyback used on Mike.
Oh, Bloodthorn picked up by the Spectre. Okay, so the bear may die, but they do have Lotus Orb, so... Someone else other than the bear may die.
Okay.
But Spectre does have the capacity to kill someone now, which he didn't before, for the most part. I'm just worrying, like, IX Mike he had to buy back. This is his item build for the rest of the game. I don't think he's going to
Yeah.
get much more than that before NP come barreling down another lane.
If Freedom win this game, without looking at what else happens in this game, if Freedom win this game, do you think it would be due to the fact that MP may have just like missed a window to close it out?
I don't think. I think NP have done. They played very, very cautiously, but I think at the same time they've acknowledged that their bear is very killable at some points. I think BSJ have done Freedom and BSJ have done a very, very good job.
Oh,
'Cause just kinda runs
BSJ!
in.
He just gets hit by an arrow that had been coming from up above, but was it a bait in? A jump and snowball save, and now they throw themselves right in MSS, who's waiting with the black hole. There's going to be the global to cancel it on out, but they put their focus on the BSJ. They're looking to burst him down. He mantas and goes into the Roche pit, gets a time lapse and a help from Eagle, and now MP looking to reposition, run back out through the outside. IX Mike's there waiting. 2 from NP go down. Here comes Freedom charging on forward. They're going to make the go onto Envy. Another black hole comes out from MSS, and it locks 3 of them down. They turn it back onto their heads, and it's going to be a double kill from Envy. Charging back over. Tomato has no more further silence for this, so he is going to be potentially brought down. Nice turnaround play from NP there on the high ground. The second black hole comes out from the pocket of MSS, and I don't know if Freedom are ready for it. Buybacks are available, but here comes NP into the base.
Yeah, things were going so well. Tomato had intelligence stolen, and then they walked up into a 3-man black hole and just died. But yeah, really, really good there from MSS. He knows that he can just black hole initially. He caught them at the edge of the snowball. He made good use of his refresher. They forced the BSJ's buyback now, so they have a much clearer avenue to win the game, and then they just go and kill the Rax with the 100 attack speed from Ponham.
Jesus. Yeah, they hit Rax hard and fast. This is over. If Freedom are not going to throw in the towel, they better make their final fight happen here and now, and that looks to be the case here. Looking to dash on in. Mike leading the charge here. MP, though, just going to do whatever's necessary to make it away. Freedom desperate for any sort of catch. Can't even seem to get a hold of Bear here. Bear even takes the bounty rune and finally goes down. But MP have just made it out, taking 2 sets of Rax, the biggest fight of the game. And now can just sit confidently here. Game not over yet, though. Freedom still have another Rax, and they're going to still be holding on to it.
Yep, so they have 1 Rax left. BSJ has his Bloodthorn. IX Mike has Octarine Core and Helm of the Dom still, so he's just... They're going to take Roche, which I think is pretty important for them. I think they might even just give it to Mike, but maybe Spectre drops Treads. Either one, yeah. He's just going to drop Treads for it.
Arrow hits Mike. Ultimately, the Roche goes down, and BSJ will pick it up. Looks like maybe trading out his cheese or treads for it. Hands off the cheese instead, and this is it, man. I mean, is it final hurrah time for Freedom?
I think so. I think they have to get something done with this Aegis. This is like their strongest point in the game.
Yeah.
They won't get a better chance than this, I think. Like, their Silence is going for a Hex, but there's just Lotus Orbs and BKBs and Glimmer Capes galore. So, yeah, it's kill something with this Aegis Bloodthorn Spectre or bust, I think. Or kill a lot of things, because I think if I check the buybacks, everyone except for the 2 supports have buybacks, so the win condition for Freedom just seems so far away, I think, compared to the NPs, because when we saw what happened, they just kind of ran into the base and 100 attack speed for everybody, and the buildings kind of just went down one by one, or 2 by 2, or 3 by 3.
And like, maybe if they had got that Aegis and then just tried to go for a fight, I mean, by now, Enigma has this double black hole again, you know? So, I don't know, another fight you're going to come out winning when you got 2 black holes to deal with, everything online from NP, and soon maybe no Aegis. I mean, if they want to get something done with this Aegis, it's got to happen soon. Envy's going to keep these waves back, and I imagine they're not going to be looking to take any fights while the Aegis is still up, so...
Yep, they're willing to play patiently.
Get
The
some
lanes are going to
smokes
push
or
in.
something.
They're going to send Envy up to top lane, so... Yeah, it's just basically how long are NP willing to wait?
Well,
At some point they're going to do something.
this one game is like already as long than all 4 games I had yesterday. Yesterday was just stomps from beginning to... We saw DC versus Doo-Wop in 2 15-minute crushes, and then Complexity versus Infamous in another 2 15-minute crushes. This is my first hour game, nearly, in what feels like forever. And go figure, it's an MP game, so... Very methodical team, you know?
I don't think they envisioned it lasting this long, but I don't think they envisioned losing so many bears going high ground either.
Yeah. Here comes MP.
Oh,
Smoke from
smoke's
them,
coming out
smoke from the other
both
side.
teams.
Oh, this is going to be
And
unfortunate. They're going to miss each other.
Passing in the night.
Yeah, but no, MP are going right for the base here, so it's going to be a frantic return of the
It
base
dies so fast.
by Freedom. Yeah, I mean, they're going to have Megas. Like, so Freedom need to get back right now, which BSJ's already here. Oh, they Moonlight Shadow. They're looking to run back. They don't know where the rest of Freedom are. Freedom are going to run in and try to cut them off on the way. Here's Mike, first one in, jumps right. There's going to be BSJ. The Haunt's going to be coming out. Can they grab a hold of anyone here from the side of MP? MSS. Postures looks to turn back. They hold that global. Freedom continue to chase. It's getting a bit frantic here. They now focus down Mike. Mike has to go into borrowed time. And then there's the ulti. Will help heal him right back up. The nearby SVJ waits within the trees. That's going to be Mike going down. BSJ just fighting on his own accord here. Looking to rush on in. Eagles looking to wait. Has a time lapse, not for another 8 seconds here. MP surrounds him and looks to go for the burst down. That's going to be
here we go.
BSJ's Aegis. Here comes a black hole, probably number 1, but they go for the global first, and then they go for the Hex. So MSS is not able to get anything off, but eventually he does pop out from it, pops his BKB, and then pops the black hole, and that should be good enough to get the job done here. BSJ tries to frantically make it out in a way, but he ends up getting dropped. He's done for. No buyback, so that is going to be the game. A long one without too much action for the most part, but MP recognize what they need to do to get the win, and they do it.
Yep. It felt like Team Freedom, they needed to do more and get more stuff done, but they just didn't really get anything. Their mid-silencer didn't work out. He just kind of got ran at by Enigma. Spectre had decent farm the whole time, but he was just avoiding fights because they couldn't do much. NP just had good building hitting heroes, and they did that, and nothing really seemed to stop them. They took a... They didn't really have a lead up until like 20 minutes, but they just took buildings and set themselves up to take Roche after Roche past like 25-minute mark, and then, yeah, you kind of saw how that went.
So do you think for going into game 2, if you're Team Freedom, I don't want to just make it as easy as, oh, do you just ban this hero, but if you look at a hero like Lone Druid, if you do just ban Lone Druid, would that be enough to deter MP from playing this kind of a game, this kind of a play style, or is one ban not good enough to stop them? Because it seems like if MP played this kind of game, like Freedom had a bit of trouble being able to stop them from just, you know, deciding when they felt like fighting. Freedom had no chance to be able to move into to NP side and try to take fights. Felt very awkward for the most part.
I think Lone Druid, no matter how he seems to be played right now, I think he's one of those heroes that you need to have a clear-cut kind of mechanism to deal with him. And I think having a Farm Spectre and having heroes that kind of run at him was their idea. And their Silencer he didn't contribute to the game until, he didn't see another hero die until like the 47-minute mark. So, all in all, I think you can't really judge it on draft too much because I think Freedom, they had things they wanted to do, but just didn't manage to do it, just off of how the early fights went. But I felt like there was more available to NP. Like, they had a black hole they could use in the early game proliferously. Like, yeah. I just like NP's draft a lot more, I think. I think the Tusk and the Abaddon, like, it just everything was very single target and everything was very on the Spectre. And once they just had enough stuff on NP to survive, then it felt very, very clear cut in terms of their avenue to winning the game.
Well, we'll see if in game number 2, Freedom can kind of change things up a bit and take it back to NP. And for NP, a solid performance, a solid draft. Maybe could have done a bit more earlier into the game. We'll see what they have to pull out in game number 2. We'll cut to a small break. I'm Kyle Guy, that's Rhyme Dota, and we'll see you soon for more Star Ladder Star Series American Qualifier action.